Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle, making the same mistakes, falling into the same patterns, wondering why happiness always feels just out of reach? What if those moments of self-sabotage weren't random? What if they were signs, whispers from a hidden part of you that longs to be seen? Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not the one that reflects your appearance, but one that reveals your entire inner world. A mirror that shows the parts of you you've hidden, rejected, or forgotten. That is the mirror of the psyche, and today, we're going to look into it, together. Guided by the insights of Carl Jung, we'll uncover the silent force behind your patterns, your fears, and your deepest potential. This is more than a video. It's an invitation to face the part of yourself that might just hold the key to your freedom. Carl Jung called it the shadow, not because it's evil, but because it lives in the dark. It's made up of the pieces of ourselves we've been taught to hide, our anger, our envy, our need for love, our fear of not being enough. It's the child who was told not to cry. The teen who was shamed for speaking their truth. The adult who hides their vulnerability behind a smile. Over time, these hidden parts become the shadow. And while you may not see it, it sees you. Your shadow is not just your darkness. It's your power, untapped, unowned, and often misunderstood. And here's the secret, the more you ignore it, the more it controls you. What if the parts of yourself you've been running from are actually trying to bring you back home? Let that quote sink in. What parts of your life have felt like fate, but were really patterns driven by something unseen? From the moment you were born, you were taught how to belong. You learned what was good and what wasn't. You learned what parts of yourself earned love, and which ones earned silence. Did you grow up in a home where anger wasn't allowed? Then maybe you learned to swallow your voice. Were you praised only when you performed? Then maybe you started believing you are what you achieve. Every moment like this is a brick in the wall between your conscious self and your shadow. You didn't choose this wall, but you live behind it. Your shadow formed quietly, slowly, over years. And today, it still carries those old beliefs, that it's not safe to feel, to speak, to want more. Can you remember the first time you were told to be someone you're not? What if that was the birth of your shadow? Think about that. The more we avoid it, the more power it has. But what happens when we finally turn around and face it? Let's be honest, how many times have you walked away from something you truly wanted, only to convince yourself you weren't ready, or that it wasn't meant to be? That hesitation. That inner critic that always speaks up at the worst possible moment. That's your shadow. It's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to protect you, using outdated beliefs. You push people away, not because you don't care, but because a part of you fears being seen fully. You stay quiet in meetings, not because you don't have ideas, but because a younger version of you was once told they didn't matter. The shadow doesn't sabotage to hurt you. It sabotages to keep you in the familiar, even if that familiar is painful. What if the pain you're experiencing is actually your shadow asking to be understood? Let's stop fearing the shadow, and start listening to what it's really saying. This is where your journey begins, not with changing who you are, but with meeting yourself more fully than you ever have before. Shadow work is the practice of turning inward with compassion, of illuminating the dark with the light of awareness. You don't fight the shadow, you invite it to speak. You begin to witness your own patterns with curiosity instead of judgment. You ask, why did I react that way? What part of me felt threatened? What old story am I still living in? This process is not linear. Some days, it will feel like progress. Other days, it might feel like unraveling. But both are part of the path toward wholeness. What if the version of you you've been searching for is the one you've been avoiding? You are not broken. You are layered. And now, you are learning how to read the map of your own soul. Ready to begin? Here are 5 steps to help you start your shadow work journey. Step 1. Radical self-honesty. This isn't about being hard on yourself, it's about being real. Ask, what am I avoiding? What part of myself do I fear others seeing? Step 2. Journaling without a filter. Set a timer for 10 minutes a day. Let your thoughts spill out without judgment. What comes up again and again? That's your shadow waving at you. Step 3. Catching your projections. Notice when you feel irritated by others. What qualities in them are hard for you to accept in yourself? Your triggers are mirrors. Step 4. Embracing discomfort. Discomfort is the threshold of transformation. The resistance you feel, that's the doorway. Lean in. Step 5. Seeking safe support. Shadow work is courageous, but you don't have to do it alone. Find someone who sees the whole you. A therapist, a mentor, or a wise friend. What step feels hardest for you? That's where the shadow is strongest, and where your growth will be the greatest. Even the smallest step toward understanding yourself is a radical act of power. Shadow work is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more you than you've ever allowed yourself to be. Carl Jung believed the path to wholeness begins with facing what we fear inside. And when you meet your shadow with love instead of judgment, something incredible happens. You reclaim your truth. You stop sabotaging. You start choosing. You stop hiding. You start shining. So let me ask you one more time, are you ready to turn inward, not to fix yourself, but to find yourself? If this message stirred something in you, please like the video, subscribe for more deep dives, and share your story in the comments. You never know who your courage might inspire.